Hello everyone! So today I wanted to fill you in on my very first Vipassana experience. Some of you might be asking, what on earth is Vipassana?
Hello, I'm Chanté. You can call me Shanti. I'm going to be a yoga teacher.
And also a YouTuber.
Yeah, that too.
So Vipassana is a meditation technique and it's a 10-day course to teach you this technique. You stay in the center, you live in the center for 10 days. No talking, no phone, no reading, no writing, just meditating and learning this technique. Okay, so I went to the Vipassana retreat in the UK. It's called Dhamma Dipa. A few people recommended Vipassana to me, and I know a couple people that actually went to this center as well. There's actually centers all over the world. This center it's a charity, so it's completely free to go and do this course. They run their centers on donation basis, so everything is given to you for free. You stay there, you eat there, you learn there completely for free, which is incredible. Like, to be honest, before I went, I thought there must be some kind of catch. Like, they must maybe really pester you for donations or something. So that's what I was thinking before I went. I was feeling really anxious because I've done spiritual stuff before, but nothing like this, like nothing this intense where it's 10 days straight, no talking, no phone. So I was feeling anxious, and the ego, the mind, is going to create reasons why you need to be anxious when you're doing something out of your comfort zone. This is my complete honest opinion about the Vipassana meditation course as taught by goenka. So there's a few different teachers, a few different organizations that teach the Vipassana technique of meditation, but I did the goenka one. I think it's the most popular, but I'm not sure. Anyway, there are a few rules before you go. There's 5 rules that new students need to follow. 1 is to abstain from killing. 2 is to abstain from stealing. 3 is to abstain from all sexual activity. 4 is to abstain from telling lies. And 5 is to abstain from all intoxicants. So you have to agree to that before you attend. When I arrived, it's a little bit chaotic because everyone's getting there at different times. You come into the hall, you are allowed to talk, obviously, and you need to register and you need to fill in this form, and then you need to give it to the teaching assistants and like check in. I filled in the form, checked in, and I was so happy I got my own room. It's quite rare, I think, to get your own room because obviously this is a free course, so usually you're sharing a room, but I was very lucky to have my own room. The grounds were really beautiful and really green and luscious. And actually, one thing I didn't know before I went was that the males and the females were kept separate. So they kind of divide. There's, on one side is the male section, and on the other side is the female section. When I arrived, I think I only spoke to 2 people because you have a few hours before you start silence. So when I arrived, I only had 2 conversations with 2 people, and we got some soup, we got some supper, some dinner when we arrived in the evening. Yeah, it was good. Okay, so this is the timetable. I'm going to insert the timetable here, but basically at 4 a.m. you're going to hear that gong. You're going to hear that gong at 4 a.m. Yep, really early. So they wake you up at 4, and then they encourage you to go to a morning meditation in the hall. So we have the meditation hall where we all go to meditate. And there was actually about 100 students on this course, mostly new and some old. So it's quite big. So we have a space for 100 students to sit and meditate in the hall. I did go and meditate at 4:30 every morning, actually. One morning I was late, but I did go every day, and to be honest, I found it the most peaceful at 4:30 because everything's quiet. Everything is quiet at 4:30, not even the birds are awake, so it's another kind of peace that you will feel at that time. And then at 6:30 we get breakfast. Breakfast was great. We had fruit and porridge and cereal and yogurt, tea, coffee. Yeah, really good. And then at 8 o'clock we have group meditation, and this meditation is mandatory, meaning if you are not there at 8 o'clock, they're coming to look for you. Yeah, you have to be there. There's 3 sessions a day where you have to be there, okay? And then 9 to 11 you can meditate in your room. Meditate in your room. This is around the time where I actually did yoga. And yes, you're not allowed to exercise, but thankfully, because I had my own room, I could exercise, and nobody knows that I have to do yoga. It's for my health, okay? And then at 11 to 12 we had our lunch break, and lunch was really nice. So obviously all the food is vegetarian, no eggs, mostly vegan, but there's some dairy, and lunch was different every day, and all of the food is prepared by volunteers. All the food and all the cleaning is done by volunteers, which is actually incredible. So they would make us stuff. What did we have? We had like lentil bolognese, we had like curry, Thai green curry, rice, potatoes, stews, vegetable stews, things like that, and so many salads, so many types of salads. Sometimes we got dessert, which was very, very good. I love a dessert, so when we had a dessert I was very happy. But that wasn't every day, but when we did, it was a nice treat. So they feed you very well. And then at 12 to 1 we had a rest period where you could go for a walk. There's like a walking track. It's really funny because people are just like walking around in a circle, getting their exercise. But there's a lovely little forest. It's not huge, but it's enough space to walk around and see nature and go and see the birds. I made friends with some robins, which were very cute, and I did speak to them. It was optional, but you could sign up for a slot to speak to the teacher privately if you had any questions or anything. Then 1 to 2:30 was also just self-meditation. I mean, you can also go to the hall if you like, but nobody's chasing you at that time. But at 2:30 to 3:30, they're coming to get you. if you're not in that hall, you can bet your bottom dollar that they're going to look for you. So 2:30 to 3:30 is a mandatory 1 hour meditation. And then 3:30 to 5, we could do our own practice. 5 to 6, here we go. 5 to 6 was tea break. So basically, there was no dinner. So the tea break for new students was 2 pieces of fruit and tea. Yeah. And for old students, they can't eat fruit. They can only have like lemon water or tea. So you're not supposed to eat after 12 p.m. Which I'm okay with because I've done fasting before, but I know that some people were not. They didn't seem okay. Like they seemed hungry. But I wasn't hungry. I think we eat too much on a normal day anyway, so I feel like 2 meals was enough for me. But it was really funny because like a couple days in, they're really realizing, oh, we're actually not getting any dinner. So this one girl, she had a bowl and she chopped up her banana in little slices, and then she had that with sugar and milk. So she made herself a banana cereal, and it was so funny. I was laughing to myself. When I saw that, it was hilarious. And then I saw somebody else chop up some apple and pear in a bowl, and then she added hot water. I've never seen anyone do that. So she made like a fruit soup. Yeah, desperate times. To be honest, the evenings are the most active, which I find strange, because if you're waking up at 4 a.m, why have most of the work in the evening? I don't know. It didn't make sense to me. But anyway, 6 to 7 was mandatory group meditation. And then 7 to 8:15 we had the discourse, which was a video of the teacher, goenka. A video lesson, basically, every evening. So we had like the day 1 and the day 2 and the day 3. And it was quite funny actually. Like on the first 2 days I was like, I'm not sure about this guy. I don't think this is for me. I probably won't come back. That's what my ego was saying on the first 2 days. Maybe this is just not for me, right? And then by day 3, I was really warming to it. And, he had some funny jokes in his discourse, and I was laughing, and I was warming up, and I was like, maybe it's not so bad, maybe I can try this, okay? So the mind's starting to open up a bit, and like humor always helps with that. And then after the discourse, we had some more meditation till 9 p.m. Yeah, late night, such a late night. And then at 9 p.m. you could ask questions if you like. You could stay and ask questions to the teachers, but I was usually straight out because that's a long day. I've got to be up at 4. Okay, so the first couple days, 2-3 days, the meditation technique is anapana, which is focusing on the breath. Okay, so that's to sharpen your mind. And then after that, they will teach you the Vipassana technique, which I don't want to give too much away because I like not knowing beforehand and learning it properly. Basically, the technique is to eradicate misery from your life and to clear all your like past bull and to teach you how to stop creating new bull. To summarize, not exactly in those words, but that's the way I interpret it. But I really noticed how that allowed discomforts to be brought up to the surface, and there was literally no escaping. You had to go through that stuff. That's what we do it for. That's what we meditate for. We spend our lives distracting, running, hiding from that uncomfortable stuff. But this really teaches you to sit with it. And not just sit with it, but actually like be okay with it. Accept it. So I feel like I learned a lot on this course. I learned a lot. Yes, I've done meditation before, but I've never done a meditation like this before. And to be honest, I feel like everyone should try this at least once in their life. Whether you've meditated before or not, they really teach you the foundations of how to meditate. I know a lot of people say, oh, I want to meditate, but I can't keep my mind quiet or whatever. Well, if you want to learn how to meditate, this is the place for you. So overall, I am so pleased and grateful for the experience. I learned so much, and I'm gonna do my best to continue twice a day, morning and evening, with the technique that they taught us. And so on day 10, we were allowed to start speaking again, and to be perfectly honest, I really loved the silence. Usually we're just making conversation with people just for the sake of it, just to not be rude, and it was so nice to just not have to make conversation and just do whatever you liked. Because as a former people pleaser, I'm used to explaining myself and what I'm doing and why, and it was so nice to just get up and leave when you feel like it without having to explain or anything. So on day 10, when we were allowed to speak again, I wasn't ready, and it just became so noisy. I went to the forest to take a walk because I just needed to ease into the speaking. I mean, it's only when you realize how powerful silence is do you appreciate how powerful your voice is. To be honest, at the end, I could have stayed another 10 days. Personally, I find it challenging to come out of those environments and come back to the real world because it's nothing like that. It's noisy and chaotic and things are going to trigger you. So yeah, you just really have to work on those things you learned when you come out. Oh, the only thing I would say that I didn't necessarily agree with is they tell you to only practice this meditation technique and not mix it with anything else. And personally, I couldn't not do anything else. Like, it's just the way I am. Like, I like to learn as much as I can. So I could never promise to not do anything else. But I will definitely do this as well, as much as I can, hopefully twice a day. I just want to say thank you to all the volunteers, teachers, teaching assistants, the servers, the cleaners. Thank you, because you guys are amazing, and I personally had never experienced such generosity in my life, where people are giving out of the kindness and joy of giving, and they actually do not expect anything in return. They do not even expect you to donate. They only want you to donate. I would definitely do it again. I would like to do it again now, but whenever I do it again, I'd like to maybe travel, do it in another country. I feel like I've probably missed something, so if you have any questions, please do leave them below and I will answer them. And please let me know if you've done a Vipassana before. And if not, do you want to try it? Let me know if you'd like to try it. And I would just say, if you're curious, just go for it. Because really you have nothing to lose. So, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And if you did, subscribe, please. And yeah, take care. Bye. Also, I just want to say thank you so much for 4.5k subscribers. Wow, I am very, very grateful. Thank you to each and every one of you for subscribing, commenting, liking, sharing. I was thinking of doing something special at 5k subs, but I don't really know what to do. Maybe a live? I don't know, let me know if you have any ideas. I have not gone live yet. It kind of scares me a little, so maybe that means that's what I'm meant to do, but